Okay, let's see if it works. Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212. I'm trying to get this to work. I'm trying to send Hayden the link. I don't know if he got it. There he is. All right.
There we go.
There we go. Figured it out. All right. What's up, Hayden?
Are we live?
Yes.
How are we? How you going?
Dude, hanging in, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Look, I love StreamYard. It's very easy to access. The big problem is I can't ever get it to go through my Bluetooth. So
right.
If I drive and I talk, then I have to go on the loudspeaker. So if it's a little bit echoey, it's just because of that. But it should be all good.
I got a question for you.
Hit me.
All right. Is it me, or like maybe I'm out of touch with the world, but
yeah,
if I like Doctor Who, I watch it, right? If I don't like Doctor Who, I wouldn't watch it, right?
Yeah.
So why is there Whovians out there that want the show canceled, right? And they want to watch it illegally, where they don't want it to count as a view, so it doesn't get the rating. And they have podcast shows and everything, but they want to cancel the show. And like they send complaints in to the UK to try to get the show canceled. But why are they getting busy with it? I don't understand. Like, why don't they just not watch it?
Sorry, my Apple Music's going crazy.
Yeah, but like, why if people don't like a show, don't watch it. Why is it so important to the fandom that Whovians who don't like the show want to cancel the show for everybody else? Why don't you just don't watch it?
Well, this is a big conversation. If I do this, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. It's a bigger conversation.
You dropped out. I can't hear you now at all. I can't hear you, bro. Why do we always have audio problems? Can't hear you. Hold on. Nerd, drop out and come back in, maybe. Well, what are you doing with the audio? Because I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Nerd, we can't hear you. We had this problem. Philip had a problem with this the other day. Okay, he's dropped out. He's going to come back in probably. Green Goblin's up there. I got to do a video tomorrow and show it. Move stuff around. I just, for the life of me, I don't understand why, like, people are getting busy with trying to cancel the show. Just don't watch it. That's the point. You're starting shit.
Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, brother, I can't turn the app off. I've got to leave the window open, the screen on. So that's all good. Where did I cut off? What was I saying?
I didn't hear anything. Didn't hear nothing.
Did you hear me at all?
Nope.
No, all right, I'll go again. What you were saying about why do people want Doctor Who cancelled?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why don't they just not watch it? Why? I mean,
what it is I don't know what happened in the last. It happened around the time. I think it was around 2012, 2013. The whole world went crazy political, and maybe it's just because I got older. But it's like politics is seeped into every aspect of our lives to where people align themselves, sort of like tribal back in the day, where you had to belong to a tribe, to a small group, and align with all their values in order to survive with the pack. Like, so people have aligned in a tribal fashion with a political group, whether it's a left or right or conservative or
but this is a TV show, though.
this is the thing, though. Politics has seeped into every aspect of our lives.
Why?
Basically, anything we watch, whether it's sport, whether it's books, we have to go, all right, what do I believe? I believe this. I align with this side of the argument. And if the thing I'm watching, the creator, doesn't, then it's evil and it needs to be stopped, because we can't allow that side of the argument to exist because it's poisoning the minds of children. This is
Are
what,
you
if you've watched
serious? Is
anyone
that what it
from...
is? So in
That's
other
what it
words,
is.
they're all becoming like armies.
This is
Like,
what it is. If you go from anywhere, like, who's a very extreme YouTuber? I don't know, Mr. H Reviews. In his mind, if something is a woke or is, Russell T Davies' extreme left way of thinking, it's toxic and it needs to be stopped, because it's terrible, because it's a point of view he doesn't agree with. So,
well, I mean, I'm a fan of him, right?
yeah,
With every single thing he's ever talked about, except Doctor Who,
yeah,
right? So that's when I started having been at odds with him with Doctor Who, because the stuff he said, maybe it's because we know better, but the stuff he
yeah.
says is complete bullshit. And I know it's bullshit.
He's drifting off of it, because there is there's a market, and you would know people, whether it's nerdrotic, critical drinker, people personally that you've had problems with online. There is a market for grifting on hating on things, like making as much content as possible, disliking something, because there is a crowd that absolutely love to watch videos
Right.
that passionately hate something, because it's almost like it's exciting to watch someone go on a rant about something. And if someone's decided, I hate Doctor Who or I hate Star Wars, there is such a wide market of people that agree with that sentiment.
Right.
And, all you have to do is make a video saying Star Wars is woke, Star Wars is dead, without
Yeah.
any evidence and any real understanding. And you'll get a million people clicking going, yes, I hate it. Yes, I hate it. So it's just
So
grifting. What it is, it's
so
just
in
people
this
have found a market.
situation, yeah, in this
Yeah,
situation, I was enjoying taking part in Doctor Who podcasts in the comment section, right? And I really
yeah,
liked Sensphere until uh, I'm watching the thing and he's fighting, the guy Brendan's fighting with the panelist,
yeah,
Paul. And Paul's like, oh, I like this. I want to see them explore the Doctor getting darker, or like the Valyard type of thing that might be coming or whatever. And he
yeah,
got
yeah.
viciously attacked, right?
I
Now,
watched the episode after you spoke about it.
right, but what he got, but the thing that I had a problem with is no problem with a
Yeah,
debate, right? The next day, right? I guess that blew up in views, and
yeah,
he created another live stream, but where he started talking about what happened, and he was ripping his guy to shreds, and then he showed that debate, right? And in
yeah,
the comments section, people were ripping apart the guy Paul, right?
yeah,
And Brendan, as the host, did not defend his panelists. Like, he did not defend his members of his group. And he agreed with the people that were making the complaints against Paul, which
yeah,
I found to be the most ultimate disrespect known to man. And I
yeah,
took part in the comments. I sent him messages privately. It was only when people from the Sensphere started attacking me on Twitter in private that I got pissed off, and I started doing videos about it and then a live stream about it. And then we were back and forth in the Twitter thing. And then he acted like a real dick, like to me. Like, again, with the I'm a teacher, I'm superior, I'm this. And I got really fucking pissed because I'm like, dude, you're not above me because you're a teacher. I mean, what does being a teacher have to do with Doctor Who? Nothing, right? So, like, what the fuck are you trying to talk about? I don't mention that I wrote 13 books. I did this, I did that. I got thousands of videos on Doctor Who and thousands of podcasts. What are you talking about? So he kept going on and on with the bullshit. And I'm like, I'm a parent, okay? So, like that's another thing too. So he wound up saying like I guess I wasn't welcome on the Sensphere anymore. And I guess he blocked me. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm sorry, but I mean, you've been on my cast hundreds of times, thousands of times. I protect the real Whovians no matter what. Like, even when we disagree, we work it out, right? But I don't allow anybody to throw my members under the bus ever, you know? So that's me as a host. And the
Yeah.
guy's making money off of his friend. And this was a friend, mind you. And I sort of saw Brendan in a different light, and I was not happy with it. And I made a series of videos about it because I really thought it was fucked up. And what I thought was even more fucked up was what the people were saying in the thing. Like, in other words, he knows that people are going to, or maybe he's telling them to go try to get it canceled by sending letters in and flag it. And they're like, I did this, but they don't want to watch it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the fuck is that? They didn't even watch it, or if they did watch it, they saw it illegally, and now they're trying to cancel it. Dude, I'm fucking
It,
watching it.
it like I said, it's sort of become this tribe of people who have decided, and look, I don't know if it's come from a lot of comments, RTD has made. When it sort of started way back when it was Davros and the wheelchair argument, and I think it sort of triggered a lot of people
Is
to go.
people bored? Are people bored that they want to latch themselves onto a fight that's not there?
People have really got excited by the idea of let's cancel Doctor Who and prove to everyone that the show sucks now. And if it gets cancelled, then it basically proves their argument right that see,
They
the
lose
show
their
sucks.
show. They don't have
I
a
don't think they.
purpose.
I think they. Like I said to you weeks ago, like sometimes we like speculating about Doctor Who more than watching, and I think these guys like complaining about Doctor Who sometimes more so than watching it today. I think they love the classic series and maybe some of the modern era, but I don't
Right.
think they're fans of the current show, and I think they would rather it's not on the air. I
But
don't want to
how
speak for
could
any of
the
them.
classic
Yeah.
series? How could the classic series carry them over to make money on YouTube, which they're so concerned with making, if some of the new fans are not going to watch the classic series? Like, they're going to
Well, I
lose
think
their show.
it's sort of. I think they commentate on current Doctor Who based on their knowledge of old Doctor Who.
If there's no current Doctor Who, then what are they going to talk about?
I think they'll just sort of whinge about episodes that have come out in the last couple of years. Maybe they'll find another thing to complain about. Maybe they'll
See, so
move
I
on to
don't
Star
like,
Wars.
you know me, I don't like bullying, right?
Yeah.
In any form, and I've been an advocate against bullying. And even though I liked Brendan and I liked the Sensphere, I felt that was bullying. I saw him in a different light. I did not like that, and I'm very vocal about that. I'm sorry. And then it came, and when he started mentioning the teacher aspect, I'm like, well, are you a shitty teacher that ignored your students' cry for help when they were bullied? Like, you just drank your coffee and you dismissed it, and then they're
Well,
traumatized for
I
the rest
think
of
it's
their
hard
life.
because I don't want to get involved in their show, obviously. But all
No,
I
I
can
know.
say
I
to
don't want
that
to get
is,
involved either. I'm just, you
yeah,
know what? It's just fat. You're younger, and
yeah.
in your perspective, I was just like, I was very just. I don't know if I'm trying to adjust with this whole
We just deal with
notion.
things differently. I think
Yeah.
the best situation, if say you do look at someone like Paul and you feel that he wasn't treated fairly in that situation, I think the best thing we can do is give Paul a platform where we
Well, you
run
know
a
what it
show a
is?
little bit differently.
I think differently of
Yeah,
that because me, I'm polite where I was not going to ask Paul to come on the show on the sense
yeah.
sphere. Because that's fucked up. We've had that done
No,
to
not on
us
the sense
where
sphere. Not
people
on the
have.
sense
No,
sphere. Yeah,
I'm just saying people have done that and tried to take my members away. I would never do that. If Paul
no.
wants to come on, he can reach out to me. And he's more than welcome if he's watching this cast. But I just, you know what it is? It just, I don't want my show canceled, and
No.
I don't believe in seeing it illegally, and I don't believe, I just I had people come after me on YouTube and Twitter before, and like I deleted it. I gotta put it back on only because I can't do videos without all the memory. But I'm just done. I'm not gonna tolerate bullying and trolls, and I'm just gonna keep going at them. And
I just think we can only do what we can do, right? So, say your show is a place where we talk positively, or we sort of have a different, wider opinion on Doctor Who. So, you know, if someone like Paul is on a show where, you know, we think, look, he didn't get his opinion across in a fair way, then what we can do is say, look, there's a show here. We have a different way of doing things. You know, like we
right.
encourage more, you know, opinion
We
without
allow
having
different
on Doctor
opinions.
Who.
You're not going to get fucking dissected and ripped
Yeah,
to shreds. But all right, so
it's just a different show.
let's change the subject.
Yeah.
So we had this episode, the Interstellar Song Contest,
But when's the last
and
time I talked to you about an episode? When's the last one I came on for?
I'm not sure, but I want to stick with the new one first,
Yeah.
right? So now before I even saw it, I was against it because I right away thought it was going to be the musical that they talked about in it, and it wasn't. It was all a front. I really enjoyed the episode a lot. I gave it an 8. And I had so many elements in it that I've asked as a Doctor Who fan. Susan coming back, and you know, the Ronnie coming back, and the Bi Generation. I'm not a fan of Bi Generation, but I was glad to see the Ronnie, and I thought it worked and it fit. And I really enjoyed him getting so angry like he has in the past. And that's a future story arc also, because if you notice one of the songs that the TARDIS did not translate for some mysterious reason, the lady sang the name Valyard in the song. So we know Valyard's coming again. But I loved it. What did you think of it? I think I lost you again. Can't hear you. Ugh. We got these. I'm sorry, dude. I can't hear you. Let me put it in. I think I come back in. Let's see. But anyway, look, going into Doctor Who, I'm not concerned with what the writer ate for breakfast. I'm not concerned with their political views. I'm not concerned with everything. I'm just there to watch Doctor Who. I'm not fucking gonna have a cause and burn their house down. That's ridiculous. These people are fucking loony skipperoonie nuts, and they can't just fucking watch Doctor Who and shut the fuck up. So, I enjoyed it, and again, they could get busy on Twitter and they could start fucking belittling and bashing like they've been toxic doing, these toxic Whovians. I'm not about that. I'm not really liking, you know, the Whovian community lately, what's going on, that aspect of it. I mean, we worked so hard to build up a community back in the day, and then we have a community now, and majority of it's shitty. So it sucks, unfortunately. But yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, when I'm on the StreamYards, if someone rings on the phone, it cuts out the StreamYard.
Oh, okay. So what did you think of
it.
the episode of the Interstellar Song Contest?
Look, I didn't. It's a hard one, right? Because I wasn't fully interested in it. I was playing a water sort game on my phone for half the episode. Not to shit on it, right? But
no, I know.
Not to shit. I was just sort of. It was late at night because it comes out here at 5 in the afternoon. I went out to see Mission Impossible, so I got home a little bit late.
Joe saw that too. Loved it.
Yeah. So by the time I got home, it was late. I was tired. I sort of paid attention. There was a few things that went, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I love that Duggadoo song. Oh, it's so good.
Joe was sharing that everywhere.
The takeaways from the episode, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I liked the gay couple. They were fun. I thought it might have been Shudi's best performance as the Doctor.
I think so.
Because whenever he was on screen, I tuned back in. It was sort of when Belinda was with that singing uh lady with the
Yeah.
horns.
Hmm.
Yeah, that stuff sort of bored me, and
Right.
the singing sequences. I don't really like talent show song contest sort of things, so that didn't really interest me. I always find that sort of stuff a bit corny. But Shooty as the Doctor, this was the first time I watched him and thought, that's the Doctor. And
Right.
that has
No,
not happened for 2 seasons.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I was like, this is, but other people feel differently, but he was definitely the Doctor, that's for sure.
You definitely could feel this is the same guy as Christopher Eccleston's Ninth Doctor.
Yes.
Um,
I felt the same.
and the torture scene for me, that was the most Doctor-like he has been. And seeing Susan, and how cool was it when he was like, woohoo, and he shoots himself back out of
I
space.
love that. That was something Matt Smith would do too, though.
Yeah, that was very, very good. The Rani thing, look, we all saw it coming. The leaks have been very accurate, so
yeah.
And
I think
I gotta
though
say,
not all the leaks are
Rani
going to be accurate. I think that they're going to take
yeah.
liberties because they're going to think everybody believed it. Now let me throw bullshit in there. That's what I feel. I don't think that
Well,
it's
we're
going to be
just gonna have to wait a
100%.
couple of days. But
Yeah,
I
3 a.m.
thought the
here.
new Rani. I'm not sure what was the actress's name who plays the new Rani.
Punjab, I think, or something like that. Or...
Yeah, to me that felt like that's the Rani. That was a very good recast.
Absolutely.
Very good recast. And Susan was a nice surprise as well.
I'm glad she's in the finale too.
It's taken a long time to get back to Susan, which is odd. I never understood why we skipped over her for so long.
But we got her, thank God.
We talked about this for years with Moffat, why he didn't bring her back for Day of the Doctor.
You know what it is? It's Moffat and Russell. They have different likes, dislikes, right? Moffat said he didn't. I guess he didn't like the Ronnie Moffat, and he's like, "Oh, nobody would know who the Ronnie is." But then for some reason, he likes the Great Intelligence, but nobody knew who the fuck Great Intelligence was except for us. So
very random villain.
Yeah, so that backfired. But yeah, I mean, they all have their favorites and who they would have and who they wouldn't. Moffat would never do the Ronnie. He said it flat out. So Russell would, and I'm glad he did actually. So, and Moffat would never go backwards either. And now because of Chibnall, Russell is too. He's bringing companions back. I like it. I like.
It's very weird that I mean, would you ever have thought that we call this Series 15 because that's what it is? Because if it goes back to the BBC and leaves Disney, it will be Series 16, right? Because it's only season 1 and 2 because of Disney. So this is Series 15. Would you ever have thought that in Series 15 we would have Melanie and the Rani back?
No. And you know what? There better be a good scene with that, where she's threatening her or something, because
is she going to dress up as Melanie again and try to trick the Doctor?
No, but I guess the Doctor's going to not know he's the Doctor, I guess.
Is her experimentations going to come back? Is she behind the space babies?
Well, see, here's the thing. There's this thing that we don't understand about Doctor Who that was said numerous times. The fact that he said his kids didn't happen yet, but his grandchild did. I don't understand that at all. Like, I don't know.
Like Susan came to him on Gallifrey and said, "I'm your granddaughter from the future."
No, I don't know. I mean, we would think he would have kids, and then she did whatever, right? So I don't know. When he tries to explain it to Kate Stewart, I don't understand that. Like,
well, David Tennant said I was a dad once, way back in Series 2.
Right. So maybe we're just thinking about it wrongly, but I mean, I just hope they don't do some bullshit that the space baby Poppy is his child, and that's the mother of Susan, because that would totally not make any fucking sense.
Well, in the back of my head, when he left Gallifrey, was it because Susan found him and said, "I'm your granddaughter," and the Time Lord said, "This girl, we don't know who she is. You're going to have to give her up to us," and he said no and ran off?
No, because he raised Susan. He wanted to protect her. I guess there was something he didn't like that the Time Lords were doing, or it wasn't just running away from Gallifrey with the TARDIS. There was something he did not like. He wanted to protect his grandchild from the Time Lord.
Well, one of the other theories is the Doctor Captain Poppy?
No.
That would be that. Do you don't think Russell would do it?
No. Oh, in the chat, that the scamp said, "Do you think we'll see Susan again in the film?" I think 1,000,000,000%.
We
We're gonna
will,
see
because if
Susan.
you watch the Unleashed
Yeah.
clip, the interview she does, she's in a different costume.
Yeah, so this was culminating from since season 1 of Disney Plus, where he mentioned in Devil's Cord, because he saw her at the premiere and he already wrote the script already, and he's like, "You want to come back?" And she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Good, because you're coming back."
What are you thinking of Billy for 16?
Well, before that though, he took out Jodie Whittaker to dinner and asked her to come back, and she said, "Yeah." So we don't know what that is either, right?
Do you think you don't think regeneration's going to happen? Do you?
I don't care. Maybe I'm just senile or old, but I don't think she was regenerating at all. I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Total.
I don't.
I think it's a total fucking. I think it's a total fucking mind fuck, right? That, and I'm sorry, but I'm not. I wasn't born yesterday, and I can't be brainwashed. So like, they could say it a million times. All these podcasts, I'm not believing it until I see it myself. Now, again, if you want to debate it about would Russell do it, oh yeah, he would do it to tell fans to go fuck themselves, absolutely. But I don't think it's happening. I think Shooty, we're gonna get a 3rd season.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait.
I don't believe it with Disney Plus either. I don't believe it that it's off Disney Plus. I don't believe it. I think all these podcasters are wrong.
Well, we hope so, right? Because look, he's just coming into his own now, Shooty. So look, it'd be a shame that as he starts to find himself as the Doctor, that he leaves.
Yeah, but you know what's weird too, though? You know how they have a video and then they said, they'll make a thing at the end of the video, watching on whatever, and
But don't forget to subscribe to the Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Right. The Ronnie did one. You saw that?
Yeah.
I was shocked because it's never a villain. It's always the Doctor, right? So I'm like, oh God, please don't tell me he's gone already. Because
did Michelle Gomez do one?
Oh, maybe she did. I don't know.
I think Michelle Gomez did one.
Did she? All right.
Yeah.
You think she's coming back too? She was at
I hope so.
She was at the premiere, right? Well, would she
I know you don't like.
Would she be part of the Holy Trinity, battling the unholy?
I think that's Conrad, the Rani, and Omega.
Yeah.
I think the Omega leaks, there's been too many for it not to be true.
Yeah.
And we still never saw that monster from the trailer that looked like a kaiju that people said Omega was.
I hope they don't make him a kaiju, but whatever. We'll find out.
It's I would love Missy to come back, just because I know you don't love bi-generation, but I really think her and Sacha Dhawan should be a bi-generation, that she's the good master and he's the completely insane master.
Oh, he came from her, in other words?
Yes,
and she stayed around?
Yes, because Missy's such the perfect ending to the Master's character arc that, look, it started with John Sim helping David Tennant send the Time Lords back, and then obviously Missy eventually helps Peter Capaldi. For her to then turn completely evil right back into Sacha Dhawan, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I just don't want them to do bi-generation over again. I don't want them to do that. Like, I don't want to see that anymore.
The Doctor got a bi-generation. The Rani got one. Well, mate, if each Time Lord gets one bi-generation, I feel like they should use that for the Master, just the once.
But you know what? I don't think this is the first one he's ever had.
First bi-generation?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, what do you think the other one was?
Maybe there's a thing to explain Joe Martin, because, I mean, I don't know. I want her Doctor to make sense.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could think of, right, is something we really didn't pay attention to, is the fact that what if, right, the 7th Doctor was, like, what if the Division made the 7th Doctor regenerate into Joe Martin's doctor. And then, sort of like they pulled Clara out of time, they had to put the doctor back the way he was. So they made him regenerate back to the 7th.
Well, the only problem is Joe Martin doesn't recognize the sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, because he's
So
members of race, though.
it's possible. I just don't know. Look, the way that Chris Chibnall wrote the story was that she was meant to be the first Doctor. And I know it doesn't make sense for our canon and people don't like it, but in the story he wrote, he intended for her to be the first Doctor.
But he
so
never said that in the original
way
though. He told her afterwards. He told her with Big Finish that he did. But at the time, well, he told her he wanted her to act as if she's the first.
She was the first.
Not that
the only way around it is if she is from a parallel dimension, a parallel regeneration from another timeline.
Regeneration, if you don't know.
Or like the Schalke Doctor, where it's an alternate timeline where the timeline split at some point.
It doesn't make sense any which way now, because they already showed actually the second Doctor regenerating to the third in the remaster. So, like he was in the TARDIS. So that's out the window, that one.
Could it be an alternate timeline where the events changed and the Doctor became someone?
No, because you know what? That would diminish the. You could never then counter then. It's got to be the actual timeline, but it's got to make sense.
So you think she's a real Doctor in the real normal timeline that we've been following?
But I think that yes, but it's got to make sense how they do it though.
Will we ever get to it, or do you think we'll just see her like once a year for a cameo every now and then?
Well, the thing is, she was never, I considered, the timeless child.
Yeah.
Right? And even the master who told the story of the timeless child had no idea who the fuck she was. Right?
Yeah.
So for some reason people confused it and they kind of associate her with the timeless child. She isn't. She is a separate fucking thing. We just don't know what the fuck it is.
But does she remember being the timeless child?
No, she don't even remember that either. So I mean, and now Shooty remembering that, I don't understand that either.
The thing is, either way, they're going to have to do a retcon, because if you remember, Jodie Whittaker even said, she asked the Master, did they force me back into being a child?
But the Master
Joe
lied,
Martin.
though.
So that was what... Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. So anything that we come up with is going to have to be a retcon of some kind to make it make sense. How do you make it make sense without pissing anyone off, though? That's the problem.
So
how would you, if you were writing it, what would you explain it as?
Well, the thing is, I don't want it that he's from another planet in another universe.
Yeah.
That just ruins the whole thing. Because, all right, go back to your universe then. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I liked it that, was he part of the original, like, Time Lord Society? We don't know. You know, what I envisioned, I think I told you what I envisioned. I envisioned that he was the first Time Lord. From Adelaide Brooks' granddaughter meeting a king or whatever, and then they formed the Gallifreyans.
Yeah.
And something happened where, to protect the name of the Time Lords, he had to be sent into the future or something, because if people tracked him, they would erase the Time Lords, right? So he was sort of like thrusted into the future because it would be connecting to them. But there's other things to who we don't know who he is either. That is a mystery, in his real name and stuff. But I always believed him to be.
Would you rather we keep it a mystery and we just never know who Joe Martin is?
No, I want them to reveal who Joe Martin is.
Sometimes a mystery is fun in Doctor Who, though, isn't it? Never knowing the Doctor's name, never knowing.
You know what? You know what it could be? I mean, you might be right that it could be another universe, and the reason why is that the Doctor did not recognize any of those Time Lords interacting with Joe Martin's Doctor.
Yeah.
And the Doctor was Lord President of Gallifrey and knew every goddamn Time Lord there was. So
What if? Yeah, it could be as simple as what if the timeline with the Morbius doctors is where she's from, which is not the same timeline as the
no,
normal doctor.
I don't even know. What I think happened was the Missy was wearing the vortex manipulator, and when the Master blasted her, maybe it was partly damaged because the Daleks she absorbed the blast and didn't die with Clara.
Yeah.
So I think either she still was able to regenerate because of the vortex manipulator absorbing the blast, and I think that they fell into the black hole, into another universe where Gallifrey is, and she regenerated to Sasha Dewan's master. He saw Gallifrey there, got confused that it was a different universe. They, I guess, messed with his memories, and he killed them, but didn't know that they're from a different universe.
So is
Like
this
he
a
was,
different Gallifrey to the one in
yeah,
Hellbent? Yeah.
yeah,
And it's different. How did we get? Are you saying that universe is the universe Tecteu was from in
yes,
Flux?
yes,
It would make sense because, but what happened to the Gallifrey in Hellbent? Is that still hiding at the end of the universe? That
yeah,
version of Gallifrey? Yeah.
yes.
Because the only
So
way he could get there was through the confession dial.
he's not getting in there. Yeah, no, nobody
Do you know
got
what I
in there.
mean?
Even the Daleks couldn't get in there. So the
Yeah.
the point is that she found out from whatever technology that, oh my God, this is what the society could be in this
Yeah.
universe, and then took the liberties to. I mean, it's sort of like the trial of the Time Lord, where they tried to make it like he killed an act of genocide, and they kind of altered the matrix of Gallifrey. So it's probably that Gallifrey was just Gallifrey and not Time Lords, and in that Gallifrey, Omega didn't get stuck in the antimatter universe, and it's just a completely different Gallifrey. And now, with the knowledge that the Master, they tried to form the whole damn society, but then they tried to figure, well, where's the Doctor in this reality?
I
You
mean,
know?
I think it would be cool if we had an alternate universe with 15 alternate doctors, and we don't
I mean, I
follow it,
would
but we
be.
find out about
The
it.
whole thing is the Time Lords are dicks, so they
Yeah.
would go to war with themselves. They would
What
literally
if
go to war with themselves if it was from another universe.
wouldn't it be funny if we find out? Do you remember Dimensions in Time, the 30th anniversary?
Which is not canon, yes.
Russell canonized it and made it that the Rani experimented and changed the Doctor's regeneration.
Who the fuck knows
But
where
look, I
she's
think
been?
what if Joe
I mean,
Martin is?
where has she been in the Time War, Ronnie? Where the fuck has she been?
Well, I think we're
Neighbors
going
to
to find
everybody?
out with Mrs. We're going to find out with Mrs. Flood.
But you saw that clip? She thinks like she's like, oh, you're like my child, and she's like, what are you talking about? We're the same fucking person.
Is Mrs. Flood going to be the hero who turns on her at the last minute and saves the day?
I think Miss Flood's going to turn on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they trying to say though that David Tennant's not the real Doctor? He's just a Doctor.
No, I think that's just a Ronnie thing. I think
You
that
think the Rani just feels she's superior to her last regeneration?
I feel that this might have happened in the old school Time Lord thing.
Yeah.
And I think that this caused too many problems and wars, and they stopped it somehow. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe that's how it explains Gallifrey. 2 Gallifreys, because they all bi-generated.
It's possible.
And then now, if Rassilon had to deal with Rassilon, he'd kill him. So there you go. The whole goddamn fucking Gallifrey bi-generated because you know what they could say? They could say that putting themselves in that pocket dimensional universe, there was some type of virus that they got that altered the regeneration energy because it was from another universe.
Like it duplicated everything from Gallifrey.
Everything. The whole planet itself duplicated everything.
And it needs to merge to stop the universe from falling apart.
And they
back into
left
one.
that universe, and they're in Hellbent, and that universe was killed by the Master.
It would explain. It would explain why Sasha Dewan is way crazier than Missy if they split in half.
Yeah.
And Missy is somewhere on Gallifrey or somewhere else completely.
I just
When would we even see a story like that, though? Would it be series 3 finale?
no, season 3 is the Daleks and Cybermen.
What, we're just building up to a Dalek finale?
It's getting a, you know what it is? I think he understands too that enough is enough with the gods. People had enough, and they went to sci-fi.
Is the gods real, or is it an experiment by the Rani?
No, the gods are from another universe or another dimension. And
did you hear one of the leak? Not the leaks. Well, it was a theory that the Doctor is the god of life.
No, he's not.
I hope not. I hope not.
I don't like that whole thing that he's from another universe. I don't like that shit.
Don't you think it makes more sense that the Doctor was just a Time Lord who just liked meddling around and helping people, and he was just some guy?
No, he wasn't some guy though. They always said that he was something because that's the mystery of who he is. There was a lot of shit in his past that.
But what do you think? If he's not the Timeless Child, what's so special about him? What is it? What could it be that's so groundbreaking?
He's probably the first Time Lord.
But would that mean he's the Timeless Child then?
No, he's the first Time Lord, meaning, like, I mean, since Omega, like, all that time, but then they, for whatever reason, I don't know. It's just, you know what it is? I don't, they always treated him like that kid they didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
But they didn't go to kill him, right? They always felt like he had something over them, or that he was that special where they had to fucking deal with him, but they couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? It was always something. But don't you
think it was just because he was a nuisance and kept meddling all the time?
No, there was something that they just fucking. They could have just killed him outright. There was always something that I don't know what it is that because they even Rassilon, when he's dealing with the Master and the Doctor, he's like, and the way he's talking about it, the Doctor, the Master, like he hates them both, like they're pains in the ass. But
the Doctor did have trouble with Rassilon before, though.
Yeah, but also the Master, I guess, from what they said, was the Master's father was rich in Time Lord society, like filthy rich. So politically, they couldn't really do shit with the Master, you know. But the Doctor was poor, you know. I don't want to believe we're going to get any answers.
Do you think we're going to get any answers?
No. I think that Russell wants Chibnall to answer what it is. That's why he asked him to come back, and he said no.
I think we're definitely getting series 3, though, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying this, but look, here's the thing, right? The Shooty was in a play with Davros, and Russell went to the play, and he talked to the guy that's Davros, the human, and he said, look, he wants to fight the Daleks, and that you're going to be the final story, and they're going to build up an invasion, I guess, of Earth, but a new version. But because of Mavity, that's the story. Is because
how funny is Mavity?
Well, because of Mavity, here's the thing. It doesn't affect anything until the 51st century.
Yeah.
Right? Which is odd. It's just a name only until you get to Davros, and then for some weird reason, the accident doesn't happen, yet he still creates the Daleks, which makes no sense because he only created the Daleks in pure rage and hatred that he was trying to. He didn't care he was disabled. He built his apparatus, and he fucking then in rage and in pain he created the Daleks. So the fact that he created them not in pain, just normal, makes no sense. It takes away from the whole genesis of the Dalek thing. So I think what's going to happen is Davros is going to find out that his universe is wrong and different, and he's going to try to restore the universe, but not know that he's in an accident that, you know what I'm saying? Because would he really change it if he knew that? You know? And I
What you
think
think they're going
all
to? Do you think they're going to remake Genesis of the Daleks?
no, I think that the universe of Mavity is going to go away. It's going to go back to gravity. I think that at the end, whatever happens, maybe the Doctor allows it, and then boom, Davros is in the last scene in the fucking apparatus.
Are we going to go back to Isaac Newton?
Yeah.
Is he going to be a lover of the Doctor?
No, you're gonna have David Tennant just show up and just tell him when he's sleeping or something. It's gravity. It's gravity. Like you sort of did with the Harry Jones Prime Minister thing, and then he's.
Well, what do you think? All right, so that's one theory of what happens next season. If it doesn't, and Billy Piper is the Doctor, what's going to happen then?
I've been thinking about this past couple of days actually.
Surely you think, I don't know about you, right? I know that the story's weird because it was his girlfriend, but as an actress, I think she would be very good as the Doctor.
If you watch Penny Dreadful,
yes,
I'd say 100,000,000%, right?
But what about the moment when she was back playing the moment?
But here's the thing. I kind of feel that it's a gimmick.
Of course.
Make people. I don't like that. Like making a Doctor just to piss off the fans and make them watch it as a gimmick is not the way to go. Like I honestly would never have the Doctor take the face of the companion ever, because that's kind of sick to me. Like, look, there's a lot of things that I've not dropped Doctor Who from, right? I could have dropped Doctor Who from Rogue. I could have dropped Doctor Who from Timeless Child. I could have dropped Doctor Who from numerous things.
Rings of
right?
Akatan.
No, I love Rings of Akatan. but the last straw for me, if I see that, I'm out.
I don't know. I reckon you're going to love it.
No. I mean, I say I'm out. Maybe
You're never out. You're like the Godfather. They pull me out, they bring me right back in.
Maybe. I won't. I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be, and especially if Jodie is there when it happens to witness it and help her. I mean, I'm happy Jodie would be there if that's the case, but yeah, I don't know.
I thought, and I spoke to you. I think I sent you a message about this the other day. But do you remember the leak you said that Marty told you where the season ends, where UNIT are so bad he leaves Earth because he's just fed up?
Well, no.
Do you remember that leak?
Marty. Well, there's conflicting things. The thing I heard was that Ruby dies, not for Marty, but I heard from Marty that he's mad at UNIT and he takes off. But
yeah,
the other
if
thing
that's the case, well, if that's the case, and he's like, look, it says he turns his back on humanity, possibly. Does he take the face of Rose to remind himself why he loves humans again?
No, I think what would be that a companion would reach out to him and call him that something really fucking bad is happening with the gods or something.
Yeah.
And then he has to come. And then I don't think this finale is going to wrap up the gods. I think the Christmas special was meant to wrap up the gods.
We're not getting a Christmas special, are we?
So here's the thing. I was always told that it was filmed. Yeah. I was always told that it was supposed to be. He was supposed to be in the realm of the gods, like.
Wasn't it called Claws of the Spider by Moffat?
Alice in Wonderland type, but maybe with the toy maker, the maestro, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And sort of where they're put back where they are, and he goes back where he is, but they can't come back here. Like it's just like sealed off. Like the universe is sealed off. But it could be, right, that if it could be a thing, right, that maybe the toy maker gives him a way to save Ruby if Ruby dies, but they got to leave each other alone.
But if it's a regeneration story, which we don't know, but look, there's a lot out there that says this is going to end in a regeneration. I don't know if I've seen so many leaks in my life regarding this being a regeneration.
Here's the thing: all the season 3 scripts have nothing to do with a new Doctor, so he would have to change every single.
He did, but
story.
series two never had Christopher Eccleston regenerating. It was always him in the scripts, and it's the same as series 5. Moffat planned it with a different Doctor with Tennant originally.
Yeah, but these scripts are
you think they're like locked tight?
Yeah, we're shooting mine.
Well, the only thing is that he's had 6 extra months where they haven't been filming to change the scripts if he needed to. Because they were meant to start filming in January, right? So they're not going to start filming
No.
August.
They were never filming. No. The last week in January, they were going to film something with
the
companion, and in closed doors in the Bad Wolf Studios, and he was ready to film in February because he was done with his play. And he's supposed to start in February. And in Graham Norton, he was announcing how excited he was coming back. I really hope that, because I don't think he was fired. I don't think it was a thing.
No, I think no.
I just hope that if he does leave, I hope it's not because he got pissed off with everybody talking shit.
No, I think he was he'd had a lot of work lined up, and the schedule just got a little bit too complicated, and he just said, "Look."
So. I don't think I still no, because he's
getting a lot of interest from Hollywood.
Now, listen, he took the job with the play because what is he doing? Nothing.
Yeah,
he got to work, right? And there's a clause in there.
What if they wanted to shoot something in America this summer, and he just said, "Look,
like Russell's busy too."
Yeah,
Russell's filming his shit too.
Look, we're gonna know in a week. So
no, we're not going to know in a week. We're going to know in 2 weeks.
Isn't it next week?
Well, we still got this week's episode coming up, but it's not the next week.
And that's what I'm saying. It's only 9 days away till Reality War.
All right. So a week and a half, 2 weeks. All right. So okay.
Yeah. It's just going to be a lot of frustration.
You may think I'm crazy, but I fully expect after the finale, there to be 2 trailers in there. One with the spinoff and one with the Christmas special.
Look, I'm going to be happy if there is.
I'm gonna fucking shove it in every motherfucking person's face, right? I may actually take some courses and classes to learn how to be technologically savvy, so I can make creative videos to rip apart every motherfucking Whovian podcaster that talked shit that the Christmas special was done, so I could clip them in it and clip all this shit in it and really be a nut. Like I'm really, people are. I'm gonna tell you right now, the moment I'm right, I'm gonna fucking make them all eat it. Honestly. Really.
Have you ever thought by saying nothing you might piss them off more?
No, because when I said nothing, right, people leaked my address and people fucked with me anyway.
Because they're more angry.
Right, because see the thing is, you know the way I get though, right? It's hysterical to you and everybody, right? Because and to the fandom, people love that shit because when I lose it, that's
entertaining.
That's better than any episode, probably, right? So, like,
it is, but just don't put yourself in danger unnecessarily.
Listen, it gets so crazy when I'm angry, and I can't contain that fury of Matrix Lord. Like that thing with Sensphere pissed me off beyond belief, especially when the guy's talking down to me, like I'm a teacher, like you're a dunce type of thing. And I never liked that, right? I've had teachers that told me I would never amount to shit, right? So, I'm not saying I hate teachers, but, I am a published author, dude. Like, what do you teach? You teach the kids how to sleep on a mat and go to sleep and eat it and have a drink and you teach elementary school. So what the fuck are you teaching? So you're going to talk down to me like you're a fucking somebody?
He's
Like,
really
I'm
triggered
sorry.
you, hasn't he? He's
It
really
has.
triggered you.
No, it has because I found the moment he told me, besides telling that guy that he's a teacher, he thinks he loves me, and I'm a fucking idiot, right?
Yeah, but he might
And
have a
mind
different
you,
personality type. He
but
might not think
I've
he's
watched
upsetting you.
no. I've watched every fucking episode in existence that could possibly be seen, and so is he. But he brainwashed that the doctor? You make it like the doctor's a priest, like the doctor never goddamn did a bad thing ever. I'm like, are you on crack?
Yeah,
You must be on drugs. Like if
he
you
could have
honestly
taken credit.
has to be on drugs if you think that the doctor was never violent ever. Like you have to be. You're on Whovian crack. Have to be. I told him, right. He tried to say that I only brought up New Who. I said the first doctor almost crushed the guy's skull in with a rock. That
You don't
was the
remember?
first
Do you remember
doctor.
David Tennant with the Rachnos? He drowned the
Right.
bit.
He was like getting off on it. Like, and
He watched her drown.
right, but the funny thing was, right? If you say you can't mention, right, New Who, right? Do you know that like when Sarah Jane was gonna die from these people that held her captive and she was blind? Remember they made her blind, right?
Yeah.
Well, she became blind. Not that they made her blind, right? But he's like, as the doctor himself, he's like, oh well, she's blind. She won't see what the fuck I'm gonna do, and he fucking gassed them, kills them with poisonous gas.
You remember Remembrance of the Daleks?
Yes.
And he was
You
like,
remember?
yeah.
You remember how violent? Like, do you remember Tegan and Nissa and the doctor? And this is screaming like and screaming, "Oh, Adric's in trouble! Adric's gonna die!" And then the doctor's grabbing the fucking gun and he's shooting the fucking Cyberman, and the Cyberman's screaming in agony.
Do you remember when Colin Baker was choking Perry on the floor?
But wait, he takes the Adric's star and he's stabbing him in the chest like Jason Voorhees, right? Like
He wasn't
Michael
happy.
Myers. And the
He
guy's
wasn't happy.
screaming, and then Adric dies, right? And then Omega's like, you wouldn't shoot me with a gun. And then he's like, fuck you, Omega. Shot you with a gun, bitch. It's like, whoa! And then Colin Baker choking Perry. What did Colin Baker do? Didn't he throw somebody in an acid bath? And they're screaming in agony or some shit? Like, didn't he almost
I
punch
think
the master in the face? Like, it was just like, the violence is ridiculous. The Seventh Doctor and the master are choking the shit out of each other. Now, okay, they're going to be cat people. But how many times have the Doctor been violent? Don't even use excuses.
What angers you or worries you is that this show has a lot of viewers and it's giving fans the wrong information about Doctor Who? Is that what makes you mad, knowing these people get views and it's basically almost falsely giving people the idea that this
I'm
is
not.
not the Doctor?
Because I encourage people to make videos all the time and become famous and be bigger than me and anybody else. So it doesn't bother me that they're making money with Doctor Who. It doesn't bother me that they have.
But no, that they're spreading false information that Doctor Who's not like this.
That's what bothers me is that I'm not going to say I'm a Whovian historian, but I've seen every episode, right? So like, why are you creating fake shit? I mean, you got to think about this, right? This guy is trying to be so goddamn intellectual as a teacher that he's brainwashing all these fucking people. And they're all
so
like,
that's the part that annoys you the most, is that people are being misled by what he's telling them.
If you had a problem with Doctor Who, but recognized, yes, he was violent, I'd be okay with that, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to twist, it's sort of like everybody was best friends with Donald Trump. Like everybody, like Whoopi Goldberg, everyone. And he was part of the rich club with all of them. And then when he decided to run, they all turned on him completely.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, he can't be bought. And oh, whatever. And we can't control him. And now, how long everybody's wants to be his friend again. Like, it's just, I don't like traders. I don't like bullshit artists, people that are fake, and they're fucking fake. Like, I didn't think Sensphere was fake. He's fake, 100,000,000%, because he made money off. That's pathetic. That's like you and I doing this podcast now, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I get fucking 50,000 subscribers because they think that Hayden is the in thing, and he's the goddamn sex symbol of fucking the Whovian community.
The
And
guy with the chicken monster.
I got popular from you, and then that would be like me then the next day putting fucking your picture all over the Whovians cast promos and shit, making fucking goddamn postcards. Oh, you want to see Hayden? He's on the Whovians cast. This fucking guy did that. This guy fucking promoted that going viral, but then he's ripping his fucking panelists to shreds.
This is like a Who fire.
That's fucking disgusting. And the guy's like, oh, he's my friend. It's okay. No, it's not okay. He's an asshole, honestly. Because that other guy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but if you looked at the comment section, you saw that guy that made the comment that said that something was mentally wrong with Paul. That
I didn't see that bit.
Last name was Payne. I think it was Dave Payne or something. That's a guy from the Tartar Zone regularly, right? So you have these fucking people from the Tartar Zone that are little cunts in the comment section trying to sabotage the Sensphere, and the stupid fucking teacher's oblivious to that. And he's like, yeah, you're right. That's why I have to, as a teacher, protect kids, because if something's wrong with Paul, no, fuck you, bro. Don't listen to this asshole. Are you dumber than shit? Like, that's the Tartar Zone fucking interfering. Like, and I saw Proper Being fucking talking shit too, and he was talking shit with Paul. And Paul's like, when he found out that Paul's like his fucking best friend, and he's like, oh, then he backed off. But he was going to make some shit too out of it.
Do you think? I think all this fighting is just going to get worse. I just don't see a solution to any of it.
Well, it already got worse when people felt that they need to put the jeopardy of my family in jeopardy by telling people that. Because from her perspective, like, I don't think about these things, right? Maybe because I'm Italian, maybe because if somebody punched me, I'd fucking beat the shit out of them, right? But she's innocent. And she's like, you're not here. And like, I'll come home and I'll get jumped by these psychopaths. You know? And I got to think about that now, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, already Noel mentioned it. Already know that, like, he thought that would stop me from what he mentioned her, because it's lower than low life shit. Like, he mentioned her last name. You know? So, and that's, that's a scumbag thing to do, but he's a scumbag. So, like, but I stopped following it because it was hurting her. Like, that she's a good hearted person, and you got a fucking scumbag like Noel trying to attack her, which Noel's always attacked women. So that's the whole point, is that I didn't remember what Jacob did to her. I can't.
I remember that, yeah.
We broke up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on Christmas time now. I'm not. That's not.
Does it give you more stress being on Twitter, or do you enjoy it sometimes?
Well, I always enjoy Twitter.
Yeah.
But more than Facebook. But all the scumbags are on Twitter.
Twitter's I was on there for a while, it's very toxic. There's so much arguing and fake news and, just drumming up all this hate. I just don't like going on there. It just doesn't feel very good.
Elon Musk, in an attempt to make it where everybody could go and whatever, it's become worse. Because now there is no... It's sad that I would get blocked or censored for calling someone that attacked me an asshole. But then the person that's attacked me, nothing will happen to them.
It's weird. There's just blatant racism on Twitter now as well.
Yeah, there's everything.
It's just people straight up not liking Shooty because of the color of his skin.
I found myself loving Twitter so much that I was on Twitter all day, and I remember saying to myself, I'm like, I just spent all day on Twitter. Like, Why? I'm just commenting all day.
It's
Why?
horrible.
Right?
What's addictive?
I
Drama's
said I could
addictive.
have
But
I could have wrote like right. I could have played games. I could have whatever. And I started seeing myself being on Twitter too much.
Well, how
And
do you
then
think someone like the Shooty Gatwa handles this when you've seen the thumbnails people make of him with the stuff coming out of his mouth and, the droopy eyes, and they just absolutely tear him apart? And you think, is it even worth him as an actor going through this just to be treated that way?
well, the thing I question, right, is did the majority of men in the world lose their testicles and their
Mm.
balls? Are they all fairies or they all bitches? Because like
Why are we're so threatened that someone with a
right,
different
like why
color
are
of
you
skin is getting a job?
what no, the biggest thing was for some weird reason,
Yeah.
these fucking men that are women and wash women, they're like, he told me to touch grass. Are you kidding me? Where's that offensive? Like, this is not like if you cut me off, I might go fuck yourself, or people follow each other and go beat the shit out of each other. To touch grass, how is that offensive?
It's it's this real toxic victimhood where
That's the
they push
stupidest
him
thing you
and
could
push
say,
him.
though. But
Yeah,
that's the
they push him and
stupidest
push
thing.
him and push him to the limit, right? They literally they're so horrible and abuse him and tell him, oh, this doctor's going to be terrible. It's going to be woke and all that. And then he says, "Look, guys, just go touch grass," and they go,
Yeah,
"Oh my
because that's all.
god!"
The person that called him the black gay doctor was a racist pig, and
Yeah,
he was mad about it. And what did I tell you? Never answer. Just have a PR person talk about it, right?
yeah.
He should have never answered, right? Because they want to find something that they're gonna hate. They need something, and the moment he did that, they were all in that. Just like
Go
they
touch
orchestrated,
grass. It's so offensive.
trying to make Russell T Davis look like a dick because they know where he is, and they orchestrated that whole fake thing where he told the fan to go fuck off because
Mm,
they brainwashed the fan into attacking Russell, and the Russell's like fuck off. Yeah, the fan attacked Russell. That's the point. Is that
mm.
even though the fan and Russell they talked to each other or whatever it was, or he loved Doctor Who, they tricked the stupid fuck to attack Russell, and Russell just told him fuck off, which
Well, it's
I
how they
would
can
too.
claim victimhood, isn't it? It's you bait someone so far they respond and go, "Look, everyone, look what they've done."
I just think people became bitches. Honestly, I don't see them as men. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that because some of them are gay, but it's just I was very shocked that I thought Brendan was a good person from Sensphere, and he was the complete opposite. I couldn't believe it. And I'm not trying to make a thing, but I'm just mentioning it in general because people interact with everybody throughout the Whovian community. But I don't see how he could have anybody on his show ever if he's going to verbally abuse and have the commenters verbally abuse the panelists. I would think people would be afraid to disagree with Brandon in the future, and I don't think he could ever have an effective
But
podcast
it's a
again.
hard thing too. Like he might be a good guy. He just had a bad day and just didn't say the right
But
thing.
then go on fucking video and say I fucked up, unless he has an ego, which maybe he does.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I only ever saw that one episode of
But
Sense4 because you spoke
when
about
I'm
it.
wrong, don't I admit I'm wrong too? Though I always do. I come on
Yeah, I
here and
guess.
I say,
Yeah,
oh, I'm wrong. I fucked up. All right. So
yeah.
why can't you listen? You should go and you should make a video and say, listen, after days of reviewing what transpired, and now I have, which he did lose people, right? He did lose followers. I have come to the conclusion that Brendan, was wrong. And I totally was not a respectful host, and I did not protect my group. And even though I disagreed with him, I wanted him punished. But yet he brought me the views, and I promoted him. So I kind of used my friends. I kind of manipulated everybody, and I didn't realize I was doing it. That's what he needs to do. He needs to apologize flat out to Paul and flat out to his people that he lost because he was attacking his people when they were going to him and they were like, "Dude, you never watched the classic series?" He was fucking, "I'm a teacher again," bullshit, and he was ripping people to shreds. So I would apologize if I was him.
I think what's good about having your own channel here is that we can ensure that we set a standard for ourselves that we want to live by. Do you know what I mean? So
I've
what's good
always had
about this
that
is
rule.
that
I've always said, right? Then I say that I never wanted anybody to fight in here. Like this is who fights different, but I didn't want anybody like members fighting each other, and I always put a stop to that, and I always made sure that everybody was protected, and if there was commentators attacking people, I would fucking delete that, or I would make sure that you guys are okay. Remember? So you couldn't disrespect each other, and you couldn't disrespect me. That was the thing. If anybody disrespected me on here, they were gone. Or anybody else. So we had a nice rule. I protect my group, and even when people came after me, they tried to come after the group because I don't know if you remember, but Noel made those diss tracks about the real Whovians, and I had some members reach out to me. I'm gonna go after this son of a bitch and fucking make videos and rip him apart. I'm like, don't do that.
Was he like a rapper, or is he a singer or a rapper or something?
No, you know what it is? It's just some of our members that's been on for like a lot of episodes were disrespected.
No, but does he make music outside of podcasting or something?
I don't really know. I know he did an AI thing that was whatever, but he said something he was a DJ in the past, so I don't know. But I actually told our group not to hurt him, leave him alone, don't go after them. It was when Daniel, the Scottish Davros, which is a wrestling person, but he don't watch Doctor anymore, but he rips Doctor to shreds. When Daniel attacked me, and then he attacked Marty, and Marty was an innocent, that's when that opened the door, and I couldn't close it. And Scott's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell him off. And Scott went after fucking Noel, flat out. Right hand man, just went after him. And then I'm like, I can't stop anybody. And they're like, good, don't stop us. And then I kind of pissed off our own people because our own people was mad that I was being a leader saying, I'll take care of this. They're like, yeah, you didn't take care of it.
So much conflict in the Doctor Who community, like just a show about a magical police box that flies around time and space.
You know what it is? It was one thing when we had the Whovian 2 war, you knew who the enemies were, right? Now there are so many enemies you don't even know, right? So it's a lot different now, and I think that's the point that some people brought to my attention is that this is what everybody does is fight each other now, and they want to make videos and they want to go up to Noel and they want to do this and they want to do that. I shouldn't tell them they can't. Like, I mean, I'm trying to be a leader. I'm trying to keep the peace. But the moment that happened where Marty was an innocent and Daniel was a fucking idiot, that he admitted he was wrong, but still he tried to go after Marty, Scott's like, fuck that. Fuck that. Scott went right at him. Right at him, where Noel promoted that shit. Look what Scott said to me, the blind dyslexic. Yeah, Scott's
it's almost like YouTube needs to be it's like we need private YouTube circles where our videos are only shown to our own audiences and we don't interact with each other.
Well, the thing is, I never thought that we were going to have infighting here with our group too. The moment that election happened, I mean, we've all been in cast together.
As I said, the politics have bled into everything.
And we've never talked about politics on here. I kind of kept that away from it, right? But now it's like, oh, you voted for Trump? And then they were fighting, and I'm like, and
who was fighting in here?
I think I don't give a shit. Billy and Carol Ann were fighting.
Okay.
Flat out, like just. And then I was not happy, and I said something to her, and then I don't like her answer either. And it was like, if you voted for Trump, you're evil, and I'm like, I know I'm not evil, so you know what, you're done.
It's a hard one. These conversations happen in my family every day, and everyone argues. It's hard.
Look, I mean, she hasn't been on the cast in a long time, but it was always that friendly thing. And I loved her to death, and she took care of me on my birthday.
It's okay to disagree on politics. Like some people,
look. Here's the thing. I told her, I said, look, I'm sorry, even if you appear to not lately, you're attacking Billy, and Billy's a member, and I said that's a rule. We don't do.
No, I think you handled it fine.
We don't attack each other, and
Yeah.
I said the person that, like, I was like, I cannot believe that we have to elect a president, but I'm not the president that I voted for. I'm not. If people make mistakes, you don't hold them to it. Like, I'm just appalled. That's like saying the person that made me pizza is my lover or some shit. Like, I mean, like, who cares what the writer of the fucking Interstellar Song Contest ate for breakfast, and who cares what the fuck she goes through, and who cares what she is, whether she's trans or not. I enjoyed the episode. So, like, I think some of us have gone loony skipperoony, and I guess unfortunately, Carol Ann turned on Billy. She wouldn't stop, and that's it. Sorry.
It's hard. It's
Billy's
yeah.
still with us, and I'm not talking to her anymore, and that's sad, but I have to protect the group, you know. And it's one thing has nothing to do with it. This is about Doctor Who. It's not about fucking Trump or fucking Kamala Harris. Like I don't understand. You know,
That's what I was saying to you though about politics has bled into every conversation we have, and you have to pick a side or you're evil in the eyes of the
I mean,
others.
I love my people. I love Carol, and I miss her. I wish she was on my desk. She hasn't been.
Maybe when all this stuff falls over, it's sort of like COVID. You know, if you were breaking COVID regulations, people hated you and said you were a bad person. You know, and now they don't care. Now no one even remembers COVID rules.
I just didn't like she went after Billy. I just Billy, of all people, Billy's like the innocent. Not that he's a kid, but even though he is a kid, I mean, like, Billy is like so nice, you know. It's just I could not stand for that.
We just got to keep it on Doctor Who topic, I guess.
Look, and shit happens. People fall out in the group. We've had that before. But you know what it is? I just want communication, right? And instead of people doing like a coup, like, if people would have just talked to me, you know, I don't think that Whovian 2 would have got any place if people just communicated.
Everyone's just so angry now in the world.
It all
There's just so much anger.
It all started from David Aston being drunk in a group text that we never did group text after that, and miscommunicating, thinking I attacked Sammy. When would I ever? How many videos did I do for Sammy? And you too.
Yeah.
And you made music. And come on. And then they all used it. They all used that to make their own group. Oh, look, Matrix Lord is scumbag. See? It's like, come on. They all loved it when my channel went down for 24 hours. They loved it. It was disgusting.
It's amazing that you keep going after all these years.
Yeah.
With YouTube, you know, if I were you, I would have quit years ago because I just couldn't handle it myself. But
I remember when I was so excited about your channel and what you were doing, and the moment you got your first dislike, you were fucking done. Remember?
Well, I had a couple of trolls come
almost done.
Me.
You were talking to me about it, and I'm like, dude, look at you. And I said, look at the guy that every day. Remember, there was a guy that went back and disliked the video every day. So how many? I have 14,000 videos, bro. And that one person disliked it under multiple channels over and over and over and over and over again.
But I think it could have affected your channel because you could have had such a bigger subscriber growth by now. Then
you know what it is. I was into it, right? And I was almost at that. I was going to reach like a milestone, I think, 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And then when all those idiots created fake names of Matrix Lords winner trolling, whatever, and all that stuff, people thought I was a horrible person. I lost 400 subscribers, maybe even more.
When did the subscribers slow? Because you were on a pretty good upward trajectory, and then it sort of slowed around the 2,000 mark.
It's, you know what it is. The show became different than what it was because besides talking about Doctor Who, we were talking about Whovian bullies that were attacking, and I was being a dick to those people. I was being a real dick because you know I don't like bullies. So when that happened, I actually took people's fucking channels down, and I did not even give a fuck what content they had or what. And to this day, I have enemies that I don't even remember because I fucking destroyed their YouTube channels. It's different now. Can't get people removed that easily, but I didn't give a fuck, you know. And then I had people influence me too, and people that were trying to push me in the wrong direction. And then I saw it after a while, like Mike D and all that. And then it got to be, people didn't agree with him either, you know.
It's like I always say to you, I don't know what it is about you that so many people seem to have a problem with.
Well, in the case of the censor, nobody had a problem with me.
No.
I had a problem with people getting disrespected and bullied. And I just wanted him to tell them that that's wrong.
No, but I mean outside of the censor, like the past people, yeah.
I mean, but the lengths that people have done to me, right? They called my job, they get fired, right? I mean, come on. That's like, they've done everything. And they have been successful.
Do you think people want the rage of Matrix Lord and try to bait you into making videos?
Oh, I think definitely. I think some people love that shit.
Because I watch them and enjoy it when you lose it. It's hilarious. Because you make like 35 videos in a day.
Right.
And it's here we go. It's
somebody from the Sensphere was saying shit to me, right? And they kept flagging my videos like lately, right? So I finally just said, look, I said, listen, honestly, if you're gonna flag me, right, and I know it's you, I was like, you don't want this. I said, you have no idea what happens when I'm pissed off. I said, you're throwing the Sensphere name in my face every day when I'm not even talking about it. I will make 100 motherfucking videos. You have no idea. Like, you really don't understand. And I was like, now I have 5 channels. So, don't. Because they'll hate you for pissing me off, you know.
It's very entertaining.
It is.
It's like I said, I've got the Discord app just to know when you put a video up to message you about it.
The thing was, I'm not. Joe created the Discord for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Look, people are smarter than me. I'm not a technical, whatever. I mean, back
Discord's
in the day,
great. Discord is that's where all the Doctor Who leaks happen before they even go onto Reddit.
Right.
Are you in the Doctor Who Discord?
I'm not in any Discord. But
I recommend it.
I don't have time. You want to know why? I love Doctor Who, don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I've always treated it like, now when Doctor Who is done, right? We'll, who's that?
I am Doctor Who. Well, congratulations, Isaac. I'm happy. He's Jesus Christ and Doctor Who.
Is that a troll?
I don't know. We're going to let him in, and there's going to be a bum bouncing in the camera again.
No, the last time I had somebody in, they showed asses on the screen. They tried to get me.
I remember.
Yeah, no.
We didn't talk about, while I was still on here, we didn't talk about last week's Story in the Engine. I don't think I came in for that episode.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I thought getting a haircut was fun.
I thought it was different.
I love how quick his hair grew back.
You know what the funny thing was? I remember, and I'm not mentioning Sensphere in a negative light, but Brendan was talking about like when you get a haircut and the whole thing. He's like, I just go in and get it. I'm like, no, I kind of go in there and I like to talk to them. Like it happened in Doctor Who. Like I don't know. Maybe that's in America. Like we just go in and like, oh hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? And you're fucking waiting and you're talking and you get your hair done and you're out. But you're like, it's like Cheers and shit. So like, no, that is real because that's what we do in America. I mean, that's true. At
my barber, we sit down and they go, "What drink do you want?" And they get you an alcoholic drink or a coffee. And I went to the barber the other day. They got these like $300 peach coffee beans that a cat peed on, and they were like, "Do you want to try this new coffee?" And
a cat peed on.
Yeah, that's like the aromas come out when the cat pisses on the coffee beans, and that's what we tried.
Really? and it tastes
Yeah,
good.
it's the most expensive coffee beans in the world. It's they get the cat to ingest the coffee and then shit it back out, and that's the coffee beans.
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
This is the world of coffee. This guy, Jesus, has said he's just having a beer and a smoke. He's probably not a troll. He's probably a good guy.
He's
It
chilling,
might be someone
relaxing.
with a
He's
different
relaxing.
username.
He's relaxing. That's fine. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
he's having
that.
a nice night. Has he been
Yeah.
in here before?
I haven't seen him.
Isaac, have you been in here before?
Who
I
are
wonder how
you?
many viewers you have that don't comment, that just watch all of your streams.
Oh, I have a lot, believe it or not. For some reason, they're able to. You know what it is? Like we don't get the views. There's something about like people could constantly watch it and we don't get views, like Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Nothing counts for some reason.
Well, what's hard about some of your videos, I know for me watching it, is that a lot of the titles when you're live are the same when you're playing PlayStation. It just says Matrix Lord is live. It doesn't say what's happening.
No, I'll tell you why though.
Yeah.
Because I explained it the other day, but so for some reason, YouTube is offended by certain words and names. So when I went to say, Matrix Lord 2 and 2 plays Two Face, they flagged the video, right? I'm like, why are they flagging the video? Because they don't like the name Two Face. I'm like, that's the name of the video game.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Right? So I did the snake game. I just wrote like being a dick. But this happened too. Mortal. They don't want Mortal Kombat name. That's the name of the fucking video game. So I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why I just leave it Matrix Lord Plays, because if I write what it is, they flag it. So I'm like, that's, you'll expect me to say it if I'm on the air. But YouTube has been like just ridiculous lately when it comes to that.
Do you think your story about the trips to the barber as a kid is what inspired the story of the engine?
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's funny that you were talking about getting your hair cut and then the doctor gets his hair cut the next week.
I've been talking about that for months, right?
Yeah.
That like the whole thing about Mario cut my hair when I think gave the story and everything, right?
Yeah.
I'll definitely put that in the movie. That's for sure.
Are you looking forward to Wishworld this week?
Yes.
I am too. It's funny, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to. Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'm actually glad that the 2 episodes are going to be done, and that we got a little quiet period because.
And that we're just going to get some answers.
I think after this was like probably the worst year of Whovian trolling I've ever seen, and I'm kind of over it. So now, let them all be with their finger up their ass for the next year because nobody's going to watch them now because there's nothing to talk about, right?
Maybe they'll be mad at the land and the sea.
No, but if they delay that till next year, they can't talk about it. So
yeah,
they'll all go extinct because there's no show that exists that they could all gather together. So you're going to start to see everybody traumatized now. All these people that meeting each other in the stream and having a good time. Now there's nothing to talk about. There's no purpose for a stream. It's not going to last, and they're going to be homeless in a way of just no place to go to, no stream to go to. But we do everything else. We have the everything show. We talk about all stuff.
Did you watch Andor?
Joe really wants me to see Andor, and
it's incredible.
I know he said it, but like
it's 10 out of 10.
I know, but I'm against it because like I don't see the purpose of getting busy enjoying a character that we know dies already. It's like stupid to me.
I'm telling you, it adds so much to the Rebellion, to Rogue One, to Star Wars itself. So I watched the finale last week. I got home from work. It was probably 6 at night. I chucked on the last 3 episodes. 9 at night, I went, stuff it. I put Rogue One on straight away because it leads straight into it.
Oh yeah.
By midnight, I went, stuff it, and I put A New Hope on straight after Rogue One.
So this is it. No more Andor, right? That was the last episode.
It leads straight into the first scene of Rogue One.
It's over.
Did you like
No.
Rogue One?
I love Rogue One.
You will love Andor. I'm telling you.
But here's the thing, and you're my witness.
Yeah.
Before Rogue One was even a thought, right?
Yeah.
Didn't I say on the Everything Show that there needs to be a series with Darth Vader? It's like a horror movie because people face off in Darth Vader, they'd be running, they'd be screaming, he'd be throwing people against the wall, he'd be choking people out, right? And that exact thing I said became what happened at the end of Rogue One, which was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's the way it would be. Perfect. Perfect 10. That's it. That's exactly how it would be if Darth Vader's coming at you. They're shitting a brick. They're all shitting a brick.
Yeah.
Screaming. The guy's screaming. Ah! It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. But I mentioned that before that. I said if they did that, that'd be great. It was excellent. And it was the first time that you knew that you could do stuff with Star Wars without the main characters.
Yeah. Look, you just have to experience it. I can't tell you, because until you watch Andor, you don't actually understand how incredible it is.
Right.
It's like the God. You like the Godfather.
Oh yeah, that's my thing.
You know, the Godfather builds to that moment in the restaurant with Michael with the gun. And it's sort of like that with Andor. It just builds and it builds, and there's so much deception and planning that goes into getting the rebellion off the ground. It's mostly Mon Mothma's show, and I don't think I ever would have thought Mon Mothma would be a top 5 Star Wars character, but she is.
Yeah, I mean, my family was in Godfather on my mom's side. Yeah, the guy's my cousin. The guy that was married to Albert Michael Corleone's sister.
Wow.
The guy that set up the thing for Sonny to die and he beat up. That's my cousin. That actor is my cousin. So yeah, so that's hysterical.
Look, if Joe's telling you to watch Andor, you've got to do it.
Oh, listen, Joe. Listen, Joe knows. Like I know he's right.
Yeah.
But it's, and I'm not against my son at all. It's just that there's so much shit going on right now in my life that have been taking my attention away with the health and the bullshit that happened and the medical and going for tests and being a pincushion basically. I'm like, tomorrow I got an appointment tomorrow morning. I'm not looking.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. It's just I'm not hearing things I like. It's just so.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I'm not going to get into it, but it's just, it was better when I was working. When I'm not working, that's when everything started falling apart, and I lost my medical and dental, and just blah blah blah. Anyway, well, I had good news. I don't know if you saw the video, but
no,
the Barnes and Noble we just had the anniversary of Paradise's Life.
Yeah.
And Barnes & Noble has changed the ordering. Like they changed it where they're allowing 2 of my books to go into stores that it's never been before. So with the exception of the major corporate flagship Barnes & Nobles in Manhattan, which are the corporate offices, right? Which would carry different stuff than the other Barnes & Nobles. Now somebody gave the green light in corporate to carry Winds of Change, which is the 3rd book, and Paradise's Life, which is from the other series, Tomorrow's Own series, which would mean that the books will be coming into the stores, and I can start doing book signings again, which is odd because things don't usually work like that with the books going backwards where they give books another chance. I kind of wish that they gave like Twists of Hate another chance because I spent
but maybe on the
money
anniversary you'll hear something.
Well, maybe because of Paradise's life and Winds of Change, that will happen with Twists of Hate, and
Yeah.
this was the only book that failed, but it didn't fail because of what it is. It failed because of lockdown. But
Yeah.
I've never had a book that was not profitable until this one, and I put everything into this. So
Have you ever thought of doing audiobooks?
I was against audios originally,
Yeah.
but you know what? First things first. First thing, I got to get the health under control
Yeah.
and make sure that everything is restored if it could be. Then I got to get towards marketing the books again, which means I got to do a new book. But it's
You're
hard
gonna
because
take your stress away from people on Twitter.
no, but I'm doing really well in gaming too now. So like
Good.
that's making money on my channel, and that's what the audience is, the gaming, and
They're still walking every day.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I
A
not the
walk a day. Good.
not sometimes the weather's been bad. I've been, but I try to do that.
Are you still eating pizza?
Well, okay, so I pissed people off today in my family because it's not that I can't have pizza. It's just that I can't have a lot of pizza. But I don't have like professional pizza a lot lately because I'm not working, so I don't have the money to. I'm just cooking what's in the house. So
You can't have a deep dish.
I mean, I can. I just can't have the quantity.
Yeah.
So I'm getting older. So I know my best friend in the world commented on my YouTube channel, and he's like, "Bro, like seriously?" And I'm like, "I know, it's just one size." My kid's golf
What
club.
did
My
What does Sharon say? Does Sharon smack you on the butt?
First of all, Sharon knows exactly what to eat and nutrition and everything. I mean, she's the biggest person to go to because she's in Weight Watchers and she lost like 105 pounds, and
Wow.
she just was speaking. She just put on her YouTube channel the whole thing she just had this past, I guess, weekend. She was speaking to all the whole place, and she knows what I should eat. It's not necessarily I eat different things because I'm like it's hard now, but I'm trying. I cut out all the soda, so that's like dramatically, you know, no soda at all except for now. She said I should try, the body would get withdrawals, whatever. So I'll have like diet soda once in a while or Coke
You like a
Zero.
ginger beer?
No, I don't.
You don't.
No. So
And
and
creaming
this
soda? You like a creaming soda?
I like cream soda. I like all that
That's
stuff. But
good.
now I'm trying a lot of sugarless stuff like zero sugar.
They're beautiful. Electrolytes?
Yep.
Yeah,
Zero
that's good.
sugar that. Zero sugar Snapple.
You get that A&W creaming soda over there?
Yeah.
There you get the vanilla one?
There's a new one coming out, a cotton candy one.
Oh, nice.
No, that's the thing. If I okay, so I'm trying to cut out stuff that so I'm healthier, and I lost a lot of weight. You can tell my face is thinner, everything's
Yeah, I've
thinner.
noticed that lately. I think you're slimmer than me.
Yeah, I'm really thin. People think I'm fat. I don't even know why they were saying that's what I'm
No,
fat.
I don't think that.
I'm
No.
super thin, and well, there's a lot of issues with that too, though. I don't want to get to be where I'm too thin, and then it's like looking like I'm dying or anything. Not that I am, but
You look very different to how you did 10 years ago.
I know. I look younger in some cases, some instances.
Your hair's
Some
a
instances
different
I
color,
look
but
old.
your face itself
Well,
looks a lot different.
my barber's like, "Hey, you still got hair?" Yeah, Mario was like, "Hey, you still got hair to cut." Like, oh, thanks.
You looked like Anthony 10 years ago in the face more, but now you look like some sort of Italian barber. You
Yeah.
look like you own a winery. I think you look like you own a winery.
I was so happy that Mario was back. My barber.
Yeah.
because like he was sick and he had surgery and and you know he's in his 80s, so it's like, oh shit, you know.
Is there a lot of
He's been co-
Italians that live around you?
yeah.
Yeah, same here. I'm on a street
Well
where it's all
actually
Italian.
it was, and now it's sort of weird. It's like in my area, um, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but we have this thing called Newdorf Lane, right?
Yeah.
Where there's at least 6 or 7 pizzerias, there's restaurants, there's the whole thing from the beach to the like one part to the other part. And then Holland Boulevard runs across the whole island. There's certain streets that run across the whole island, right? So so now this whole area is changing to Chinese and Japanese, and they're opening up everywhere. They got schools, they got like everywhere,
It's the
and
same here. It's more
it's sort
Indians
of
over
like
here.
It's sort of like in the city Chinatown, but becoming in Staten
Yeah.
Island now.
Yeah.
But even my neighbors are they're buying up all they would. It's like they all came together and they're buying up all the houses.
It's the same. Do you have a lot of Indians over there?
Not not in my. I mean, yeah, in Staten Island, yeah, but not and I not in not a lot. I don't think in the area, but it's now it's just Italian slash Japanese, Chinese. It's interesting culture. Everybody
Well,
makes
we were
it.
sort of in Australia. It was, go back to the 60s. We had a lot of British migrants. That's where my family came from. But the 70s, it was Italians and Greeks. Even
Yeah.
going back a bit further. So my street where I live, it's predominantly older Greeks and older Italians who surround me. So
I mean,
over the back
I
fence,
get along
yeah.
with everybody, so I'm everybody's nice in my area, you know.
Oh, everyone's great. I love it.
Yeah,
But it's just interesting where everyone sort of moved to, and it's funny how on your side of town you're basically surrounded by Italians, which is the same as me on the other side of the world.
yeah,
And they're probably all related somewhere down the line.
I'm sure everybody
Yeah.
somehow.
I don't have any. I don't think I have any Italian directly. I've got Maltese heritage from my great grandparents,
Right.
but mostly I'm from England and Ireland. That's where the names come from.
I'm
So,
trying to. I know Joe set up a Discord and you set up Discord.
hmm.
I'm trying to get more technologically savvy. And I know Joe wants me to do TikToks and all that. And I did some videos, but I didn't get busy with it.
No, I don't. TikTok will fry your brain.
And look and Twitch. I just I too many different avenues. I just want to stick with YouTube. I just want to stick with, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but even the way I do videos now, I have to delete all the apps because I don't have enough memory unless I just get more memory or something. But I mean now my nieces are on TikTok and they're all, and my godchild they're all doing that. They're probably stars on TikTok.
My parents are on TikTok. They love it.
Yeah.
My mum just sends me TikToks all night, and it's just like, Mum, get off of TikTok, go to sleep.
I like
Dad
it.
just
I mean,
sends me Donald Trump TikToks all day.
I would watch it all day, but see that's the thing. So now I almost lost my ranking with gaming,
Yeah.
which if I did, it would really screw me up for the whole year, right? So like I was just like hardly sleeping, and I was gaming like a nut, and I just got my 9,000 platinum, and now I just got 9,012. Oh no, 14. Yeah, I just kept going. So I was actually planning a whole strategy. I had notebooks and everything because like I want to make a big enough lead, and then I want to try to catch the third guy, and so I was like just planning to buy all this stuff lately. And then you would message me, and I'm like, okay, but like I don't know. Like I said, I'm not technologically savvy, so like you're like only on Discord, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, he's not on Facebook, he's not on this. How the fuck do I send the link on Discord? So then I'm like trying. So what I did was I sent the link to me on Facebook to myself, and then I had to put the apps back up on the phone to copy and paste it, and then I put it on Discord. It was hysterical. It's probably an easier way
But
to do it.
I've got a StreamYards account. Can't you just add me as a friend on StreamYard?
Is this a thing? StreamYard?
It's because there's a thing called members in StreamYard.
Is there? I don't even know how to
Yeah,
work that.
I think you could probably add a friend in StreamYard. I do.
Is that what that guy was talking about? Add me to. Can I join StreamYard?
I think so.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because I joined StreamYard, made an account, and it says if you can subscribe to different levels of StreamYard, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a thing called members where you've got a list of people you're in contact with to add to your
That's the
show.
thing. I don't pay for it, but for some reason I advertise them, so they don't
Yeah.
bother me with the time. So I could do hours. Like they never tell me, hey, you used up 5 hours for the month. And even if I went over, I guess I advertise for them all the time, so they just let me talk. I mean, they can cut me off, but they let me talk as much as I want, and I don't have to pay
I think
for
it's only
anything.
like $4.99 a month or something.
No, but
for
I think I'm
premium.
bringing them. I think I'm bringing a business. So that's why they're not bothering me.
Yeah, well, I've got an account now because you're on here.
There you go.
Yeah, I just like to keep you on your toes. I don't like to have an account where you can find me too frequently.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you know what? That's a
Yeah.
good thing, though, because you make the perfect operative like from Mission Impossible. So can't be tracked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's good. I just don't like social media in general. I don't like it. It just gives me too much anxiety.
I have not. That's the thing is like I feel bad when I'm not on Facebook because I'm missing people's birthdays, and I don't want people thinking that I'm a dick. It's just I don't have
Yeah.
memory, so I with the amount of videos I make lately, and now I'm making more money on YouTube, which that's the only
Yeah.
income really. So I need to make more money, right? So now
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't know if you know this, but YouTube lowered the criteria to monetize now.
Okay.
So they cut it in half. So the only way I make money is on my main channel. I don't make money on the other channels, but I'm trying to build them up. So I'm trying to get to where they all make money, which would be nice. And then
Well, how many channels do you have now?
5. Well, I have more than 5, but like they're character channels, the other ones. But I know Billy is probably gonna be like Billy never wanted me to have more than one channel because he said that it's too much of a distraction. It's too much takes away from the channel. But my channel has 14,000 videos. How could you find anything on the main
I
channel?
can't honestly. I have to search your name up to because when I subscribe to your channel, because I only subscribe to 4 or 5 channels on YouTube. When I'm subscribed to you, that's all my feed is your videos. So I just manually search you when I'm not logged in just to see what's going on. It's just
Because
easier.
you would get notifications every minute of the day. I put up a video.
With this Discord now, I get notifications all day just about your video.
I could just imagine that, like, pissing everybody off and shit. I don't mean to.
When people go, "What's going on your phone? What's this? Who's this major?" So I said, "Oh, it's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe's always got a new video up,
Yeah.
And they go, "Who's Uncle Joe?" I said, "Oh, that's Uncle Joe. He's over in Staten Island."
Yeah. That's funny.
It's funny because obviously
Do
I'm doing this show for years.
you remember I met Jacob in person, and
Yes,
his parents
that
thought I
was
was
so
going to
awkward.
kill him. His
That
parents
was
thought I
so
was going to
awkward.
kill him, and they got security, like security and everything.
Was he? Because Jacob's a little different, obviously. Was Jacob different, like a bit weird when you met him?
Well, first of all, it's kind of weird because security was with us.
Yeah.
Because he did cause damage to the, Jack, Sharon, and everything. So his parents were like, "You don't remember you did this? You don't remember you just told them where we're staying, what hotel we're at." So like, we were nice to each other. It was nice. It wasn't that long, but he seemed.
I think Jacob's harmless. Jacob just gets on
Yeah.
little weird streaks where he does something odd, or he's very trusting. Though I remember back in the day, he gave me his Google password and all this.
No,
He's very
I
trusting.
think he's a nice person. I mean, he
Yeah.
when we were going to do the 2000 thing, I asked a lot of people to, appear, and he didn't want to. But there was a reason behind that with I don't know, somebody, relative of his died that got him into Doctor Who, and he was miserable. I don't know, something. He just didn't want to talk about Doctor Who, so I'm like, all right. But we lost a lot of people left, you know.
Yeah. I watched some
Um,
of the old episodes the other day. I can't watch them. Whenever I speak, I cringe. I'm so fucking loud whenever I talk.
I didn't notice any of that stuff. I wish that old doc didn't erase all the Whovian podcast episodes or the Who and One or whatever, like when you used to appear. Like that, those are cool historian
I don't
things,
think
you
that.
know.
What was fun about it was over like the summertime. So I remember I was off school and I always had Skype logged in, and there was always someone to talk to, or there was always a live stream, you know. And as much as
Yeah,
it was about Doctor Who, I think it was just about having friends,
yeah.
you know, because I
We
always
did
struggled.
we did
Yeah.
Zoom before Zoom was cool.
Yes, I remember that. I remember when Zoom went viral. I was like, "That's something that Joe showed us years ago."
Yeah, that I
But
had
you
to
say
show
you're not
Sharon
tech
how to use it.
savvy. You say you're not tech savvy, but you showed us Zoom.
But there you go.
Yeah. Did you watch Thunderbolts?
No, I know that's
You've
surprising.
fallen
So,
behind on Marvel.
well, I'm falling behind on a lot of things. I know.
Yeah.
We were trying to track. The kids were trying to figure out where the timeline went skewy with me,
Yeah.
and we track it back to the moment I got the job with CBS.
Were
And
you up to date when Endgame came out?
yeah, but the moment I got the job with CBS, that's when, because I was always working 6 days a week
Yeah.
most of the time, or 5 days. Anytime somebody called out, I went in. So that's where my attention diverted, and you know, pretty much.
Because do you have like a home theater? Do you watch a lot of movies at home?
I would go ask the kids. Well, not kids anymore, but we would go to the movies every fucking weekend, all the
You
time.
got an IMAX down there?
Well, now I haven't been to the movies since the last Spider-Man movie, which is terrible. You know, that's been a long time. Oh no, no, wait. The last time I was in the theater was -1, Godzilla -1. The kids took me to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
You
I
got a
haven't been to the
Thunderbolts
movies.
was good. Thunderbolts was good.
It's doing
I
good.
even liked Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah, Joe wants me to see that.
I liked it. I like Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I know some people don't, but I think he's all right.
I don't have a problem with him being Captain America.
I feel it was a natural progression for Steve to hand the shield down to Sam,
yeah.
but some people don't like it.
I'm not sure I agree with Robert Downey Jr. with Doctor Doom stuff. I don't know about that.
I think it's going to make a lot of sense.
Really?
They're trying to paint it as in every universe, Robert Downey Jr. is Doom, except that universe. For some reason, he is Tony Stark in that universe. And whether Tony Stark's grandparents were from Latveria and called Doom and they moved the Starks to America, there's a reason why Doom feels that this universe is something that he needs to engage with, because that's the
You're
only place
saying
he's not Doom.
that's what they're going with, that
Yeah, I think he's
every
Doom in
single.
every universe except
Really?
616. Yep. And I think that's why he picks that universe, because
There's no
that's
Doctor Doom
where
in this universe?
I think he can manipulate the event he face.
But there's no Fantastic Four in our universe either.
Well, that's how it's all going to happen. There's going to be a huge merging with the universes, which is going to lead to Doomsday.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the Fantastic Four are coming over as well. I mean, the X-Men. The X-Men coming over.
Yeah.
You see the set leaks with the Sentinels out the front of the X Mansion?
You don't even
Yeah,
know what to believe. It's like, I've seen Scarlet Witch. I've seen.
No, so there hasn't been many leaks. The only leak was the X Mansion being shot, and there were some Sentinels that were on the ground.
Wasn't he fighting the X-Men in the beginning, Doctor Doom? Like Magneto and all that?
I don't know. I know there was a leak script for Kang Dynasty where Kang was executing the X-Men in the original version. I'm not sure. Did you see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, yes. Now that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think what we're going to find is that what is it called? You know how there's the anchor
But
being?
they're not going to bring him back into it.
No.
Jonathan Majors.
In Secret Wars, I think everyone's back though.
Oh, him too, though.
Everyone. When I mean I mean, I don't think of the most random villain from a Marvel movie, from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, Topher Grace's Venom. Anyone you can think of.
Really?
Surely you're going to be back in the fold by then.
I need to. I know. I'm going to try to do everything I can to be back to regenerating back to where I was. Yes.
Don't watch the Marvel shows. They're very hard to keep track of, and they've actually said they're pulling away from making the series relevant.
I think that what happened was because of Sam Raimi not listening to that they changed it, because the Doctor Strange movie was ruined because of that. It could be so much better, you know. But
I mean, talk to Joe and Anthony and just say, look, skip the shows. Tell me the movies to watch.
I know what I'm missing from the shows.
Yeah.
The only show I didn't watch, there's only 2 shows I didn't watch. Could you guess what they are?
I'm going to guess Echo.
I'm sorry.
And Agatha.
Well, I'm sorry, 3 shows. Echo? No, I watched Agatha.
No, yeah, Agatha. You watched Agatha. Daredevil Born Again?
No, Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk.
I love Miss Marvel.
So I got to watch those.
Miss Marvel might be my favorite.
And I didn't see Marvels.
She-Hulk's terrible. But Miss Marvel, I would say, is probably my favorite Marvel show.
Okay.
It was great. I loved Moon Knight as well.
Me too.
Moon Knight was good. Secret Invasion was fine up until the finale, I think.
I hated Secret Invasion, totally.
It's a very disappointing ending.
The whole thing.
Well, did you like Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Not really.
Okay. Well, the Captain America movie's kind of like that.
I didn't like it because it was pointless, that they would never be together. They made Baron Zemo like a goddamn saint, and the only thing I liked about that is fucking him killing the guy with the shield. That was great.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, there's a lot to like. Did you watch The Penguin?
No.
Great series.
I actually still have to finish Daredevil.
Yeah. There's a lot to watch. Look, honestly,
I loved Agatha. Agatha was really good.
I didn't watch it. I might have to get onto it.
But you know, the thing is, it's like this thing with Doctor Who. That's WandaVision. Which world is WandaVision? That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
What, Doctor Who?
The Wish world that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's WandaVision. The whole thing, the whole finale is WandaVision.
Was it written by RTD?
Yeah, he loves WandaVision. RTD. He loves it. So that's why he's making it like, you know. We'll see how it goes, though. I hope it's good.
I'm looking forward to it. It's weird. Like, I'd only give Doctor Who this season on average a 6 out of 10, which is good. The 6 to me is good, but
I liked a lot more episodes this season than last season.
I'd say the strongest episodes have been the episodes that don't, and I say this all the time, episodes that don't involve military. I just get so sick of military in Doctor Who. They're so boring.
You don't like Unit?
No, not anymore. I find them quite boring. I like Kate Stewart. One thing I don't like is, why do they make so many references to what's Ruth Madley's character who works at Unit called?
Who?
The one in the wheelchair.
Why do they make references to what?
Her being in a wheelchair. Every time she's in the show, they have to make a joke about a wheelchair.
Well, she only appeared in it once.
No, she's been in 3 episodes.
Oh, I'm sorry. She was in Star Beast.
Star Beast, The Giggle. And then she was in The Lucky Day.
Right.
Yeah, so the thing in the Star Beast was there was jokes about the wheelchair. Then The Giggle, when Kate Stewart reveals, her anger when she takes off the chip on the arm, the one that was blocking them from being angry. The first thing she says is, you can walk. We know you can walk. And then they make a joke in Lucky Day about, oh, you're on benefits or something to her. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's why do we have to why does it matter? Like we said it once, we get it. She's in a wheelchair. Why do we have to keep talking about it?
Well, aren't they going to do that now even more so? Like, Connor's going to make her fucking be on this, like, whatever?
Yeah.
On ride or whatever?
Is was that kid coming back who was on the scooter with the guns?
Oh, I don't think so.
How bad was that they threw a 13-year-old kid into a gunfight?
I'm kind of hoping that Sutek is back, too. Like, I don't want them to kill him off like that.
It's going to be a loaded finale if that's the case.
If Sutek is, like, downgraded now, and he's building himself up again somewhere, like they showed him in Egypt again, okay.
It's a very loaded episode if we're going to bring that much back.
And I've been that's so weird. I haven't checked anybody's podcast lately, so I haven't.
Well, how are they going to resolve it? Is it going to be a big magic button again, like every RTD finale?
I hope not, but I don't want to fight with anybody with the Doctor Who stuff. It's just that I don't like stuff going on like that. You know, I just want people to be able to feel safe talking about Doctor Who like we do.
Yeah.
You know? And
I don't know. I don't watch too many Doctor Who channels. I watch you. I watch Theories, and I watch a guy called Josh Snares. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Snares, and then I watch Podcast of Death. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast of Death, a good one. There's a few good Doctor Who shows out there where they're not too negative, and if something's not great, they call it out, but they don't go on a tirade about woke. The show is awful, and it's too far.
I'm so sick of seeing it.
Yeah,
sometimes I'll watch them, but then I just got so turned off lately.
There are so many channels that just profit over Doctor Who rage bait. Like, there's one guy called, like, John Azuro or something. He's always making a video where he's ranting about Doctor Who, and he doesn't even watch it. It's the same as that Tachyon Post always having a scoop.
Well, that guy fought with me. That guy doesn't know shit. That guy's horrible. Horrible. Yeah.
It cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched like I usually watch whoever's around. Like I basically watch as many Whovian podcasts as I can. Usually interact, but now I'm kind of like I just don't want to interact anymore. I think because like I got people where they're like, "Oh, here's Matrix Lord," and then they're like, some people want to fight me, just for me being there.
Tough.
And then I'm like, I don't want to give up.
There's some good channels. It's hard. It's people have sort of picked their side of the argument and they kind of stick to it. Like, there's a guy called Disparu, and he just ridicules every episode for an hour, and it's just unbearable to watch. It's just so irritating and angry, and it's like, dude, you said you don't want to watch it anymore, so why do you have to tear into it?
I don't understand why they make it like Doctor Who's the worst thing they've ever seen in their life. Like
it's because of how much money they make. They make so much money from shitting on Doctor Who.
I mean, it's just they're making it like, and that's the thing is like if it got canceled, they'd be done. They'd all be done.
Yeah.
Nobody would.
I think they want to keep going.
No, they
don't
want
want to keep going. Made during the Acolyte? I think people made millions during the Acolyte just from ripping it apart.
But they don't want it to continue Doctor Who. They don't.
No.
And they don't understand that they're not going to have anything to do.
But look, didn't we read the other day, I think it was it Mr. TARDIS talking that Doctor Who generates like $100 million for the BBC in revenue from its merchandising?
Do you know how much money they're going to make in the theater?
Yeah.
Come on. They're so stupid, these people. They're so stupid. They don't understand that it isn't just a rate. First of all, how could you do a podcast talking about the ratings when Disney Plus could give a fuck what those ratings are? How is that relevant to Doctor Who? That's not going to keep it canceled or going. It's Disney Plus ratings. So why the fuck even talk about that?
But here's the thing, though. Out of everyone we know and talk to, Who do you know that watches Doctor Who live on BBC One when it airs? No one.
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
Now with streaming,
we all stream Doctor Who. All of us watch Doctor Who on a streaming service.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, and you know what? Look, when Whittaker was on, when the Chris Chibnall era was running, nobody I knew was watching Doctor Who. Everybody I know now who used to like Doctor Who is watching it each week.
But you know what it is? It's hard because in America, it's 3 a.m.
Yes.
I'm killing myself trying to either stay awake or wake up the exact moment to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a struggle every week. And
You
it's
just-
a terrible time slot. It's a terrible time slot.
I just don't think you can go off of the BBC numbers, though, as to whether or not the show's successful.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's not accurate because
The
like,
numbers
yeah,
are so wrong because what's going to happen is this is what's going to happen. They're going to announce that it's continuing on Disney Plus immediately,
yeah,
and these people are going to need therapy because they are so brainwashed thinking that it's getting canceled that people that don't even go on YouTube videos are going on it just to be part of this group, and they keep all repeating the same thing, and then when it doesn't happen, they're going to be traumatized.
You know what the narrative's going to be, though, when the show comes back? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say the BBC doubles down on woke politics and renews Doctor Who to spite fans. That's what they'll say. Guarantee you. You'll come back to me. This is what they'll say. They'll say the BBC doubles down on wokeness and brings back Doctor Who.
All these thumbnails, all these videos, it's bullshit. They're all bullshit, right? Now
I've got to hop off just for 10 minutes because I've got to pick my dogs up from the vet.
We're gonna go because it's 2:16 in the morning, so I'm
I've got to run.
Play a little game. Or I'm gonna go to sleep, but you could be on another day. We could do. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out.
That's good.
And just,
We'll chat Saturday night after Wishworld.
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Discord.
Thank you, Hayden. Thank you, everybody. Continue to watch the Whovians cast as new episodes become available. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Take care. Bye for now. Yeah,